The glasses, which I always wear on my nose. So these are my reading glasses there. And a column in which I can write who he's been bought by and for how much. I took it with me to Mumbai in 2008. I'm Richard Madley. I'm an auctioneer, but you might already know that. I guess to my many friends and fans in India, I'm known as the Hammer Man. My father was an auctioneer. My father-in-law was an auctioneer, so you could say that auctioneering is in the blood. I aspired to be a professional cricketer. That was my great dream as a young man, but I learned pretty quickly that I wasn't going to make the grade. I played Surrey League cricket, and I played some good standard club cricket, but I kept cricket as a hobby. I was very interested in the history of cricket, so I conducted auctions of cricket memorabilia, signed bats, signed shirts, Wisden's Cricketer's Almanac. So I had a love of the history of cricket. And how do I prepare for any auction? I start thinking about an auction a few days beforehand, and I start to read through my sheets. I want to know what's in the auction. Now, it could be a Chippendale mahogany bookcase, or it could be MS Dhoni. I want to do a little bit of research on that player or on that piece of furniture or on that piece of artwork. I want to think about where the bidding could open, where it might close, and I will prepare mentally with a very clear head for any auction, warm up the voice beforehand, do some singing. I might do some singing in English or in Welsh, and prepare for that moment, clear my head, and not get too involved about, oh, what if this happens or what if that happens. I've got to stay in the moment, just like that umpire. I focus on that one ball, where did it pitch, where's it going to go to, and then you give your decision on that. That's very, very similar to the auctioneer who's focusing on that one lot who's an artwork or a cricketer, and give him all the attention. And when that ball is bowled and that lot is sold, you then move on to the next one. How big that day was going to be in the Oberoi Hilton in Mumbai in February 2008. It was the day that cricket changed forever. And in that ballroom on that day, when I took to the rostrum and I looked around a sea of Indian superstars, none of whom I knew. I didn't recognize stars of Bollywood. I didn't recognize captains of industry. To me, they were just bidders who were coming to an auction that we had decided we would hold in order to launch the Indian Premier League. And I look back now, and none of the franchises even had names. So the Mumbai franchise held up their paddle and it said Mumbai. When what is now the Rajasthan Royals held up their paddle, it said Jaipur. And for the Super Kings, Chennai was the name that was held up. So the teams hadn't even been named. It was so new to everybody. But as I stood there on that rostrum, and the name came out of the hat, MS Dhoni, and I thought, now this is going to be interesting. And obviously, I opened the bidding, I think in US dollars at perhaps, I think it might have been 400,000 and 400, 425, 450. We got to 500, 600. We went over $1 million, $1.1 million, $1.2 million, and I was thinking, where is this going to end? But Chennai were determined. They kept their paddle up. They were going to buy him, whatever happened. And my hammer came down, sold to the Chennai franchise, not even the Super Kings. And I thought, this is the day that cricket has changed forever. And I'm the fortunate person to be there with the hammer in my hand. A very lucky man. I'll never forget it. I certainly noticed how much more sophisticated the bidders became from that very first IPL auction in 2008. By the time we moved to 2009 and 10, and around the auctions up until 2018, the level of research, the role of the analyst, the strategy was so much more professional year upon year upon year. And now the teams are so well prepared for a player auction. They're doing their homework, they've done their homework well in advance. They've had mock auctions behind the scenes before the event. They've prepared for any eventuality. If player A gets picked up by another franchise, what are the options there? So I've noticed how much more sophisticated the level of bidding has got. And I'm proud and happy now to watch the junior players come through the ranks of my village team. We've got a thriving junior section. And on a Saturday afternoon now, I put on a white coat and a white hat, as I'm now an ECB Level 2 umpire. Now that's a test, being an umpire. But in fact, being a cricket umpire is actually quite similar to being an auctioneer. An umpire must be fair. He must be firm. I think he should be friendly at times, but he is there to see that fair play takes place. And that very much is the role of an auctioneer. So I see great similarities between being a cricket umpire and being the IPL auctioneer.